All right, guys. Today, let's talk about Moana, the new live action movie that has come out. I have not seen it yet, to be completely clear, and I don't plan on seeing it for a really silly reason. I don't know why. It's been really fun to hop on here and chat about Hollywood movies lately. But it's like I tell my students in literature class, you don't have to love every book that you're assigned, but as long as we're all having fun discussing it, whether that is defending it, analyzing it, or ripping it apart, we're, engaging in critical thought and we're having fun here. So even if Hollywood isn't giving us incredible movies lately, at least not a lot of them, then yeah, at least we're all having fun together. So yeah, for Moana, I don't have anything crazy serious. As kind of a background, yeah, like I said, I haven't seen it, and also. The original cartoon wasn't my favorite fairy tale. It was enjoyable, or I should say Disney cartoon. It was enjoyable, but it didn't capture my imagination the way that Tangled or Beauty and the Beast or Sleeping Beauty, the older ones, did. So, to be fair, like this isn't my all-time favorite. I'm not crushed that it's not amazing. I didn't have much of emotional connection, but I do have a very arbitrary, silly little reason for not going, and that is the hair. I kid you not. First of all, the Rock, his wig in this movie is atrocious. I'm not sure exactly what the hairstylist is doing with a lot of these live action cartoons, but it's confusing, to put it nicely, and just a terrible life choice, to say it more honestly. A lot of people are saying it looks very cosplay. I would say cosplayers, if you have ever been to a Comic-Con, they are on point, so don't insult cosplayers like that. But it's Moana's hair is what really gets me. Okay, so growing up, right, there was st hairstyles at the time. It was, I don't know if you guys remember the era that everyone went through where it was like blonde with highlights and stick straight with a poof at the top. And this was like the bane of my existence growing up because okay, the poof, yeah, fine. It works when my hair isn't like pulling down. But stick straight was really hard to achieve no matter how many hours I used a straightener, and obviously blonde wasn't gonna work. I could bleach my hair until it falls off of my head. We still wouldn't have the platinum kind of look that a lot of people were going for. So it was a style and a trend that was kind of an impossible achievement for me. And since then, I've seen a lot of people get a lot more lax about what hairstyles people should use. Natural hair is more coming more and more in, which makes me so excited. But yeah, hair is honestly, there have been struggles with it throughout my life. People not knowing how to cut my hair, people not, calling it unprofessional, all these things. So it's like not a big deal, but it is like it has been part of the story. Anyways, now I am absolutely so grateful for my hair, and I love that everyone is like leaning more into their natural look. I think that's really exciting, no matter regardless of what kind of hair you have. The funny thing is Hollywood is like trying to really, really, really claim that it loves diversity. It is so excited for a Polynesian, movie. I've seen news articles where parts of the movie crew is talking about how they brought in Polynesian experts to try to make sure that they are really, really um, doing justice and honoring the cultures that they're portraying. Thumbs up. That's great. If you're going to take time to really dive into a culture and portray it as accurately as possible, with a little dose of magic, of course, unless you believe that Polynesians are really playing with the waves the way Moana does, it's a fun idea. I think leaning into a cultural reality and bringing that to screen, that is so fun. And I was really excited the first time I saw the actress for Moana. She's a girl who has this full head of Polynesian hair. It's very curly, it's very wild, and I was like really excited. That isn't something you always see on screen. Again, it's a small detail, but for somebody who's grown up with princesses who look other ways, it is fun to see a girl with wild head of curly hair. So I was very excited about it, and I followed once the trailer came out. I watched it, and guess what? They straightened her hair. Like, I don't even have words. Why? What? So I think I was just a little taken aback. She still has curls, but they are nice, tame, relaxed curls that are kind of feel like to me that they fit the more socially acceptable kind of box. They're not her original wild Polynesian curls. And I was like, I don't know. It just like that to me took away a lot of the excitement. I just kind of realized that Hollywood likes saying that they like diversity. They're trying to bring in experts, but at the end of the day, if something's kind of tough to work with or not conventional, they're not going to deal with it still. So that was a disappointment. All like still, it is kind of a silly reason to not go see a movie. Like, I'm sure they get a lot of the, well, I'm not sure if they get a lot of the rest of the details right, but it is interesting to see they are trying to get the details right. At least that's what the publicity and the marketing is saying to us. They're trying to honor the Polynesian cultures and their ways and all that stuff. But for me, after seeing that, I'm not really interested. And this brings us to a really important point of I'm not going to see the movie, and it's a very silly reason. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what kind of hair she has, or what kind of artistic choices they make, but it points to a reality that Hollywood seems to have forgotten sometimes, and that is, I don't need any reason to not watch a movie. My reason can be as silly as I want it to be, and I don't have to see the movie. This is something really interesting I've seen in like Hollywood PR circumstances more and more. When an audience doesn't like a movie, we've started getting gaslit a little bit of like it's somehow our fault that we don't like the movie and it's somehow a problem with us. For example, if audience members don't go to see a movie that has a certain ethnic cast in it, people are labeled as racist. Whether or not race was the reason that they decided not to go to the movie. Sometimes we've seen people reacting strongly, for example, to Christopher Nolan's marketing of the Odyssey, which just came out. And it's interesting to see that his responses of like, you know what? I don't care what you think of the trailer. You just have to go watch the movie and then you can tell me what you think. Actually, the trailer is what helps people decide whether they want to spend $60 of their hard-earned money and 2 hours of their limited lifespan on that movie. So if people don't want to watch it, they're under absolutely no obligation to. Um, so this kind of like, or you just don't understand it. You just need to watch it. You're racist if you don't watch it. You don't appreciate these themes if you don't watch it. This is silly. This is really silly. And I just kind of wanted to take space to say we don't have to watch anything we don't want to watch for absolutely zero reason. It could be because I don't like the hairstylistic choices. It could be just because I'm not feeling it. And this is, it can be for as silly of a reason as we want. Now, to be fair, we should not be critiquing a movie without understanding it. Like, I should not be bashing certain Polynesian aspects that I don't have a grasp on, that I'm like, I can't, or we shouldn't be bashing a movie for no reason or for an unjust reason. For example, if there are people who are like, I literally don't like this group of people. I am racist and I don't want to watch it because I am racist. That's a different thing, right? Like, be kind to our fellow human beings, be loving towards our fellow human beings, of course. But not watching a movie is not making a statement. It's not making a statement oftentimes about our fellow human beings. It's just saying this movie does not appeal to me. And that's okay. And I think that sometimes Hollywood forgets that it's not an obligation for anybody to watch a movie or to read a book. This is something I thought about a lot as an author. I have a book that I really like. No one is obligated to read it. That's not like a moral or social or political or any kind of requirement in life. You don't have to read Heart. You can though, and if you enjoy it and you enjoy those 2 hours or however fast you read it of your life, that's great. That's fun, and it's fun for me to hear. That's exciting. Link in the bio, link in the description. So it's exciting, but nobody has to read it. There's no moral obligation. I don't have to read anyone else's book, but I can if I want to, if I feel like spending my precious time that way, and that's exciting. But sometimes I feel like Hollywood just kind of has this wrong idea in their heads of we're the cool ones. You have to follow along with us. And that's just simply not true. At the end of the day, Hollywood is Hollywood because a bunch of fans come together and they say, wow, you've done something that brings us joy. We're going to support you financially by buying tickets to your movie or by buying DVDs or by buying merch. And so at the end of the day, fans are what make Hollywood what it is. Fans are what make any kind of company, Disney, what it is. And so this fan base is really important. And it's important not to say you have to do something or try to command them or feel like they're obligated to do something because quite simply, we're not. And it's just good to keep that in mind. So, will I be watching Moana? Probably not because her hair isn't how I like it. And I'm gonna go spend some time writing some stories that I actually really want to read, and reading some friend stories that I'm like super, super, super excited about. And even watching some indie films. I'm like really like looking into that more. I want to discuss those and review those as well because let's start looking at smaller creators who are excited about their fan base, who are not gaslighting us for not watching their stuff, who are welcoming us into a journey. Let's start looking for those creators. So, anyways, what is your favorite indie film? Drop a comment because I would love to kind of learn a little bit more about the indie film world. And yeah, what are your thoughts about should you be obligated to watch a certain movie? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.